Hello and welcome to this webinar, the first in our Ideal Client series. Today, we are covering the topic, how to get the highest quality clients coming to you, and we'll address standing out from your competitors on August 8th. I'm your moderator, Jenny Alton from the New York Small Business Development Center Central Office. Your presenter today, I'm very happy to announce, is Tasha Prados, the Business and Marketing Strategy Coach and founder of Duraca Strategic. This webinar is brought to you by the New York Small Business Development Centers network of 20 campus-based centers and many more outreach offices located across New York State, along with a central office based in Albany. The NYSBDC is a U.S. Small Business Administration resource partner. Our free advising, education, research, and advocacy services are made possible by funding from the SBA, New York State, and our host campuses. So you know, this session is being recorded. We will share a link to the recording with attendees in the next few days in a follow-up email. Attendees are muted and will not be on camera today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them in the Q&A box as they come up. You can open Zoom's Q&A box from the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom window. We'll save questions for a Q&A session at the end of Tasha's presentation to make sure she can get through all of her material first today. We do also have the chat open, and now I will turn the time over to Tasha.
Amazing. Thanks so much for that intro, Jenny. And hi, everybody. How are you doing? Let me know in the chat where you're at in New York, where you're coming from today. Hope everybody's day is off to a great start. We are going to use the chat a lot. So I am going to ask, I don't know, Jenny, if this is possible, if we can make it, and I think you guys can set it for yourselves so that anytime you put something in the chat, you can just change that little blue tab and change it so it goes to hosts and panelists to go to everyone, because it's really nice when we can kind of all get in the same vibe and see what everybody is saying in the chat. So welcome Peggy from New York, Christine from Putnam County, Shelly from Lower Manhattan near City Hall. Amazing. I'm super excited to chat with you guys today and talk about how to get the highest quality clients coming to you. I want to start with where you guys are at in your business. So give me a 1 in the chat if you're currently working full-time as your own boss. Give me a 2 in the chat if you have a job in addition to your business or if you're also looking for work. And give me a 3 in the chat if you're just starting out in your business. Let's see where people are at. Lots of 1s. Okay, some 2s, some 3s. Nice. Really appreciate everybody who changed their chat to be to everyone. It's really nice when we can all see each other's comments. Awesome. Okay, so we've got some good variety here. Today's training is going to be especially helpful for my 1s and 2s, but for my 3s, it's also going to be really good for you too, because you're going to do things right like the first time around, which is wonderful. And I'm really excited. This is a topic that I'm super passionate about. You know, in my business, I've literally gone from haggling over $300 coaching packages, trying to sell those and struggling to sell just $300 and barely making ends meet, to signing 100K clients with ease and making twice the money that I used to make in my corporate job while working literally about half the hours. There is no deck that's going to be sent out after today's presentation, so you're going to want to take notes. So get out your notebook or your Google Doc and capture these gems. There's going to be just a lot of value today. So let's start by talking about what makes someone a high quality client. Why do we want that, and why is it so important? Let me know in the chat what makes someone a premium client for you, or even like what kinds of clients you're trying to avoid and stay away from. Let's see. Give you guys a second to type. Welcome, Chelsea from the Bronx, just starting your business. So what makes somebody a premium client for you? So a premium client is someone who is excited to work with you, who trusts your process, who appreciates you, values you and your expertise. They're really nice and fun to work with. They're excited to pay you and they do it on time. You know, they have reasonable expectations and they take responsibility for themselves and their results and their side of the work. Let me know in the chat if you agree. Let's see. Christine said they understand what I do and let me do it. Nice. Totally. Shelly said clients who already understand the value, the kinds of services, and is ready to get started. A responsible business partner. Love that. Absolutely. Let me know if this is resonating with you guys and anything you have to add. This is so important, right? Because it takes just as much effort to make a $500 sale as a $50K sale. So, which would you rather have? Honestly, premium clients are so much easier to work with. You know, they've really been around the block. They know how things work. They have reasonable expectations. They're not asking you to solve all their problems in the world for $47. Working with premium clients gives you the money you need to have a more secure and a more stable business. And then you get to make more money in less time, and then you can reinvest that money and time in nourishing yourself, showing up as your best self, growing your business, and not just hustling 24/7 for your clients. Let me know in the chat if this is resonating. Chelsea said 100 clients who pay you on time. Yes, absolutely. Shelly said, a learning, it isn't always large Fortune 500 clients that are necessarily better business partners than a small startup or individual business owner. 100%. Yes. I totally agree. You know, when I first started my business, I was hustling so much. I was hustling to get clients, and they were not always a perfect fit. I was negotiating, I was getting asked for discounts, I was getting ghosted after spending hours and hours on a proposal. Let me know in the chat if you guys can relate with this. I didn't love all the work that I was doing, but I had to pay the bills. So I just felt like I didn't have a choice, you know? And I didn't always feel valued or appreciated for what I was contributing, which sucks because it's like, that's not the reason I started my own business, right? And I was so busy spending all my time on client work that I didn't have the time to even think about what I really wanted my business to look like, the kinds of clients that I really wanted to work with, the level of money that I really wanted to make. And I didn't have any time or energy to create that vision and then transition into working with premium clients. So let me know in the chat if any of y'all can relate with that. Like, have you been ghosted by a client you thought for sure was going to work with you? Like you felt like you're working too much for not enough money and not enough appreciation. Even I've heard some nightmare stories of clients who like haven't paid on time or like just delay. And it's like, what? That's not okay. Paggy said related to everything you're saying. Okay, good. Christine said same. Shelly says yes, especially in the last 18 months. Feels like there's been a slowdown and reduction in budgets. Christine said I don't entertain everyone anymore. Good. We are going to talk about that. Okay, so I want y'all to tell me in the chat on a scale of 1 to 10, what percentage of clients you work with right now would you consider premium clients? So give me a 10 if 100% of your clients are the dreamiest, most amazing clients that make you feel so valued and so respected and so appreciated and trust you and get great results and take responsibility for themselves and you just love working with them. And give me a 0 in the chat if you don't have any clients yet or if none of your clients are premium clients yet. And that's totally okay. Like that is why we are here today. Okay, I see an 8. Nice. A 2. Anybody else want to let us share?
We have a 0 from Deb in the Q&A.
Oh,
So we're
thanks,
glad you're here
Deb.
today.
Okay. Thank you all for participating. I love the participation. The energy just really gets me going. So thank you for everyone who's sharing. Okay, so we have some room to upgrade your client roster, right? So today's training is going to be especially helpful for you, right? If you already have clients and make sales, if you know you're really good at what you do and you get rave reviews, now you want just a consistent, steady flow of higher quality clients and income. You want a really highly successful and sustainable business where you're more than adequately paid for your excellent work, and it's also supporting you in living your life. And if you're just starting out in business, you've never gotten clients or made sales before, you don't have any existing offers, and you're not exactly clear on who your ideal client is, today's training is still going to be really helpful for you because you're going to know how you want to set up your business in the first place and the kinds of clients you want to attract. So I quit my job at a top 3 global advertising agency more than 4 years ago to start my own business and become a digital nomad. Hello from the French Alps. That's where I am right now. In the beginning, I was desperately trying to sign up folks for like a $300 coaching package. I went from that to working with CEOs of 60 million and $100 million companies, working with companies like Amazon, Slack, Facebook, and selling 5- and 6-figure coaching packages. My favorite thing to do is help entrepreneurs like you get really clear and really specific in your positioning, your messaging, and your marketing so that you're consistently attracting the highest quality dream clients that you love working with, who make you feel really valued, respected, and appreciated. Because in my mind, like otherwise, what is the point of being your own boss, right? And what I found, what I believe is that having fewer high-paying clients is much more sustainable and a much more fun business model. When you work with premium clients, work gets to feel so much easier and more fun. You feel more appreciated, you feel trusted, you feel valued, you get to enjoy doing the thing you're so good at, right? It's not just about the money, but this is the reason that you started your business in the first place. Let me know in the chat what you guys do. And how does all of this sound? Let me get an amen in the chat. Okay, so let's get started. Let me know in the chat what makes you want to get more premium clients. For some of you, it's going to be because you want to work with fewer clients. You're literally out of time and space in your business, and you literally can't fit in any more clients. And so in order to make more money, you need to charge more, right? Let me know if you're in this situation. And that means premium offers, premium prices, and premium clients. You want more time so you can give back more to yourself, right? For some of you, it will be purely for the love of your craft, right? You want to feel more valued, more trusted, more appreciated, and to be able to do your work without hassle. For some of you, you know your skills are worth more and you are ready for higher ticket sales. Maybe all of the above. Let me know where you're at in the chat and what is so exciting to you about working with premium clients. Let's see. Ooh, we got some good stuff in the chat. Interior design, awesome. I want to work with less clients for a higher rate. Yes. I'm an event photographer covering corporate event, conferences, and galas. I want to work on projects I adore. Yes. I want to have a full design to work. Having a full design to work with is more satisfying for the client and myself. Piecemeal is very frustrating. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So let's dive in and start with some of the content for today. I want to start with some of the things you want to avoid doing if you want to attract perfect match premium clients that you love working with. So first is not going to be speaking directly to them. And I think, Christine, it was you who already said this, right? So many entrepreneurs, they're trying to speak to everyone in their marketing because they want as many sales as possible, right? It's actually the opposite. So if you're speaking to everyone, you are going to repel premium clients. Premium clients want something that is tailored and customized for them specifically. They want to know that they're working with an expert who specializes in what they need and can solve their very specific problem. So you need to really deeply understand your perfect match client so you can speak directly to them in the language they use. This is something I work with my clients on a lot, is how to do market research that gets you sales, because a lot of times, like, we as the expert, it's hard for us to get in the mindset of where our clients are. Like, we know what they need, but we can't speak to them in the language of what they think they need, right? So you need to be really specific about what your dream client desires, the outcome they want, and speak to that very specifically. Okay, mistake number 2, not correctly positioning your offer to be a match for premium clients. Have you ever spent hours on a proposal only to never hear back, had endless DMs that do not lead to a sale, or awkward discovery calls that end with like nothing concrete? Let me know in the chat if you've experienced that, because I know that I definitely have. And there's actually so much that you can do in how you talk about your offers, how you do your marketing, how you do your messaging, and how you do your content in order to reduce objections, repel tire kickers and ghosters, and attract more premium clients. So just by changing the way you talk about your offer, you can get more prepared dream clients who value and appreciate you more. Premium clients are not looking for the same thing as low ticket clients, okay? They care a lot less about how much something costs, and they care a lot more about how well and how quickly you can solve their problem and help them get where they want to go, right? So you don't need a big, complicated offer with a lot of components. Premium clients want the quickest, simplest, easiest solution to get where they want to go, okay? They care way less about how much something costs and way more about how quickly it will get them results. I see this a lot with early stage entrepreneurs. People who are just starting out have this kind of scarcity mindset, right? And it's like they're afraid to spend money. And then the later stage entrepreneurs who are more successful and have more sustainable businesses, they're okay spending money. What is most precious to them is time, right? So for a premium client, you really need to speak to the results, the outcome, their desires, and the transformation you're offering much more than you speak to their pain points, right? You may have seen some other marketing stuff about there, like make sure you talk about the pain points and it's all about the pain points. But if you're only talking about pain points, those are the kinds of clients you're going to attract. You're going to attract clients who are in pain, who are feeling that pain. And they're not going to be as premium of a client because they're going to be in that place of scarcity and in that place of need. And they're going to be looking to you to fill that need and solve all their problems for $47, right? So speak more to the results, the outcome, the desires, the transformation you're offering more than the pain points. Still talk to the pain points, but it shouldn't dominate your messaging, right? And then you really want to use your messaging to pre-qualify clients. So only premium clients are self-selecting to talk to you, right? Think about the criteria of what makes someone a premium client for you, of the best clients you've had, of how they show up, what those people had in common, and put those things in your messaging so that someone who isn't at that level and can't do that and that's not them, they're going to read what you have written down and they're going to be like, oh, that's not me. Like, I'm not that. So they're going to self-select out. This happens to be my zone of genius. Like I said, I worked at a top 3 global advertising agency for 4 years, and I still do brand strategy and positioning for globally known brands. But most of all, I love doing it for small businesses, owners, and entrepreneurs because like when you get this right, it makes such a huge difference for the quality of the clients that you attract and for your bottom line. And you might be sitting there thinking like, oh, there's no premium clients in my audience. Like, I promise you there are, you are just not messaging correctly. Like I have less than 1.5K followers on Instagram at this time of recording this, and I run a very successful 6-figure business. So it's not that they're not there, it's that you're not speaking to them in the right way. Let me just check the chat real quick, see how we're doing. You know your target audience. We want more money and less clients. Yes, I like you, Wendy. Amanda says, how do you balance that perspective with remaining inclusive and accessible? Let's save that question for the end for sure. Strategic communications, writing, coaching teams, loving my own boss. Awesome. Yes, 100%. Okay, love you guys. Okay, mistake number 3, not having the right energy or the right mindset that attracts premium clients. So too often I see entrepreneurs who are too intimidated to raise their prices or think they aren't worthy of working with higher quality clients who make more money than them, or they feel like they're asking for too much money. Let me know in the chat if you've struggled with this. I know I used to struggle with this a lot. You have to know you're great at what you do. You have to know you can deliver results for premium clients, because if you're not confident in yourself, if you're not confident in your offer, if you're not confident in your price, premium clients can sense that from a mile away and they will not buy. If you know this is something you need to work on, I'm going to drop the link to my free masterclass on the mindset shifts that take you from booked to booked out. And definitely check that out. Let me see, did that land? Is that, because that is free. And I talk a lot about mindset stuff in there because I'm more of a strategy gal, but I have seen over the years, like I've gotten a little bit more woo woo, and it's like, it really does make a really huge difference. And a lot of times it's like, if you're struggling with the confidence for yourself and you don't feel like you can own that price point and you can sell at that offer and you can get really good results for that premium client, they're not going to sign up to work with you, right? Like no one is going to believe in you and your offer more than you. So you have to believe it first. You have to believe it before you're seeing the results, before you're seeing the sales. It starts with you. Okay. Christine gave me a yes, ma'am, for sure, especially as a digital designer. Peggy says same. Okay, love you guys. Okay, so you can never show up desperate or overeager for the sale, right? And that's tough because this is life and this is business and you need money, right? So you got to do whatever you have to do to not show up as desperate and overeager for the sale. You need to have an energy where you're assessing if you want to work with them as much as they're assessing if they want to work with you. Sales have got to be a two-way street, and you are choosing them as much as they are choosing you. Okay. Mistake number 4, not pricing your offers correctly. So your price needs to be correct. There's no two ways about it. Like if it's too low, they are going to think you're not premium. People worry about losing business because they're pricing too high, but too often, actually with premium clients, it's that you're pricing too low. And you're losing business by pricing too low. Because if everyone is signing up to work with you at your current price with no price objections, your price is too low. If your price is too low, premium clients are going to think your offer is not good enough for them. Like you're giving Walmart and they're looking for Givenchy, right? There are buyers at every end of the spectrum. So you need to decide what kind of client do you want to have? Do you want to be Walmart or do you want to be Whole Foods? Do you want to be Givenchy, right? Would you rather make a sale for $27 and have to make 27,000 of those? Or would you rather make one sale for $27,000? And what does the $27 product look like versus the $27,000 product look like? Which one is going to get you to your revenue goals faster? And which one do you want to do? So if you want premium clients, you should not be focused on price and you should not be lowering your prices or offering discounts to make a sale, right? Because then you're going to attract very price conscious clients, and those are not going to be the premium clients. Clients who buy based on price alone are simply not premium clients. Like you don't want to lead. That's why you don't want to lead with sales or discounts if you want premium clients, because those are going to be super price conscious clients. They're going to be very demanding. And in my experience, they're going to be not a lot of fun to work with. So pricing correctly is a bit of an art and a bit of a science. Let me just check the chat, see how everybody's doing. Oh, another digital designer. Awesome. A lot of folks who don't value design services or want to pay premium, but we're just not speaking to those premium clients yet. Yes, Chelsea, you're getting the vibe. Awesome. Would you be speaking on landing? Sure. Save these questions for the end, guys. We can talk about all of them for sure. Let me know how we're doing so far. Let me know in the chat what's landing for you, what aha moments you're having. I always love doing free workshops and sharing this info with entrepreneurs. It's so fun. So if you're enjoying this, I'd love to stay in touch. I'd love for you guys to share on social media, tag me, tag the New York SBDC that are doing so much great work. I'm going to share my Instagram and my LinkedIn in the chat. If you guys want to share something from today's training and just tag me and let me know what you learned today. And I'll even, if you share, I'll even choose one of you who posts and like gift you one of my paid masterclasses for free. And like I said, there is no deck today, but I did make you guys a cute little cheat sheet of all the key points. So I'll drop the link for that as well. Okay, so wait, let me just take a sip of water because it is hot in here. Okay, and I'm seeing lots of good questions in the chat. Make sure you put those in the Q&A so we can address them at the end. Okay, so now we've talked about mistakes to avoid. Let's talk about what you should actually be doing to attract perfect match clients who you're really going to enjoy working with, right? This is why we're here today. So number one is make sure you're creating content and processes that repel and keep out tire kickers and ghosters so you don't waste any time on them, right? These are not the people you want to be spending your time on and creating proposals for and getting on calls with, right? That's a waste of your time. You want to use your content to call out the kinds of people who are a perfect match for you. So you're pre-qualifying your prospects and addressing objections before they even talk to you. It's how you take leads through the process to the sale. You want to be using your content and your processes at every step to make sure they're also the right fit for you, right? That two-way street. And you want to make sure they're going to be good clients, and you want to keep out the people who are not going to be good clients, right? You have to say no to the people who are going to be wrong to call in the people who are going to be right. Because the truth is, I mean, I'm talking about it like it's like good clients and like bad clients, but oftentimes when you do your messaging and you have your processes set up the right way, you actually have the power to turn someone into a good client, right? Someone who might show up as like a bad client, you can take them through the process and lead them through the process in a way that is going to make them become a much better, higher quality client, right? It's about helping them believe in themselves, helping them understand how to show up to get the most out of working with you, and what is going to give them the best results. So a big thing, and this is a big thing I see in early stage entrepreneurs, a key thing when you want to attract premium clients is you want to speak to the clients who are ready to invest in change right now. You don't have to waste space and time trying to convince people why they should work with you, right? Those are not going to be premium clients. You want to be attracting people who are ready for the transformation you offer and who are looking for it right now. Instead of trying to convince someone to hire you and why they need you, talk to the people who are already looking for exactly what you offer. And it's just these super small nuanced tweaks, and it's things you don't even realize in your messaging, where you're calling in people who you're having that convincing energy and trying to tell them why they need you, when really you got to just be tweaking it and speaking to the people who are already looking for you and already to hire you right now. Okay, number 2. And this is a really big one. I'm going to call you guys out a little bit. Planning for long-term, consistent dream client attraction on repeat, so you don't have to worry about where your next client or paycheck is coming from. This is a really big one. You really need the vision for the business you want. So be honest and no judgment, because this was me too. How many of y'all are out here winging it? Just like hoping if you put in enough time, you put in enough reps, if you put in enough years, if you get enough experience, the higher paying clients are just going to come eventually. And you don't have the business model figured out, or like what the offer is for those premium clients, right? You have to create the business model for the business you want and the roadmap to get there. This is the biggest thing. It's just making the decision. I'm not doing this anymore. This is the business that I want. This is how it's going to work. Here's the business model. Here's the offer. Here's the price point for this type of client. And then going after that client, instead of being like, okay, I'm here. I'm spending all my time on client work. These are the kinds of clients I'm getting. If I do this for enough time, the higher quality clients are going to find me. No, you move first. You decide, I work up here now. I am getting premium clients, and this is what it's going to look like. You have to decide. You have to make that decision. To have a sustainable business without burnout and be able to operate at the level that premium clients are attracted to, you need to have systems set up in your business, systems for attracting dream clients, systems for onboarding them, systems for serving them well. Because if you don't have repeatable systems that work, it's going to be so much harder to be a match for premium clients, to scale and to take on more clients. So you have to set your business up for that first, and you want your business to be ready and have the capacity to do it. So I love, super simple, elegant, efficient systems and processes, but you have to be spending less time on the business and more time in your zone of genius doing what you love. You have to have the systems and the capacity to take on more of those premium clients. Let me just catch up with the chat real quick. Yay, took the words out of my mouth. Yay, examples, save questions we'll do at the end. Dude, my wings are wide and tired. Oh, Christine. Okay, number 3. Your brand and offers need to be positioned as a no-brainer for premium clients, so they're excited to work with you and pay you in full. So again, we talked about this earlier, right? No more trying to appeal to everyone and attracting clients who aren't ready to sign up or who don't value, trust, and appreciate you. This is one of my true gifts, right? Helping people really nail that brand positioning and offer positioning and hone in on that perfect match dream client and learn how to speak to them in a way that is really going to magnetize them to your brand and your offer. Because how you position your business for a low ticket client, right, is not the same as how you do it for a premium client. You have to make that conscious choice, and you have to change the way you talk about your business and your offers if you want to attract premium clients. You have to really deeply understand those perfect match clients, and you have to understand their desires. You have to speak to those desires, to the outcome that they want, to the results they want, and to the transformation that they want. And you have to do it in their language, not in your language as the expert. You have to know how they're talking about it, how they're thinking about it, what they're searching for, what they're looking for, right? So you need to lead with that and what's in it for them. Too often I see folks focusing on the wrong things, like talking about I and me. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about you and what you're looking for as the client. So don't waste time talking about, waste a little bit of time. Talk a little bit about the structure of the offer, how much time it's going to take, what's included. But I see people spending way too much time on being like, okay, here's the offer. It's going to look like this. You're going to get X, Y, Z, instead of here's the results you're going to get. Here's how you're going to get the outcome that you want. Here's the transformation that you're going to get by working with me. Because premium clients don't care about those things. They care about the results. Okay, number 4. You need an authentic sales process that converts cold leads into dream clients and feels good on both sides. Give me a shout in the chat if you have a hard time with selling or with the idea of selling. And in fact, I'm going to drop actually a link in the chat to another one of my free trainings on feel good sales. If you want to dive into this in depth, if you know that sales is something that you need to work on, because it's such a common problem and it's holding back so many entrepreneurs. So if you want to get more clients with ease without feeling spammy, watch that for free. The problem is that if you don't tell people how you can help them, they don't know you can. If you don't have sales, you don't have a business, okay? So you have to get really comfortable embracing your voice as a thought leader and doing sales in a way that is going to feel ethical and authentic and good on both sides. So we work on it both from a content perspective, and then you also have to have a feel good sales process to back it up. Like not gross clickbait, but like you really have to be able to confidently lead your prospects through a repeatable sales process that works and that reliably converts. Like if you are right now only getting your clients through your network and through referrals, you need a reliable marketing and sales process that is going to be able to attract and convert cold leads to have a sustainable business. I think I saw this question in the chat about like B2B proposals. Simple things you want to do to encourage action, like for example, adding an expiration date on a proposal, making sure you're presenting verbally and not just sending stuff by email. If you're getting leads who are interested in working with you, but you're not converting them into actual clients, there's a lot of things we can do to close that gap and make the sales process feel better for both of you. Just making some simple tweaks to your sales process can drastically increase the rates at which you convert leads into clients. And what you don't want in your business is unstable revenue and like one-off sales that don't go anywhere, right? So to set your business up and your life up to be sustainable and scalable, you want a smart business model that is going to consistently bring in stable revenue without burning you out. So a big part of that is having a reliable strategy for attracting leads and then a reliable strategy for converting those leads, right? Okay. Ooh, let me just take another sip of water. I'm going to get to your questions in just a minute. That is pretty much the end of our content for today. I would love to hear whether you guys found this helpful, what resonated with you the most, what's one thing you're going to implement right now. It is truly going to make such a difference for you working with higher quality premium clients. Like it takes the same energy to sell a $500 product as a $50K product. And I promise you, a $50K client is a heck of a lot more fun to work with, and they're going to be more invested, more committed, and a better client. So I just want you guys to remember, like you get to decide where you position yourself in the market and what kinds of clients you're available to work with. And I can't wait for you guys to start implementing some of the tips I shared today and see how some of these small tweaks can make really big differences for the kinds of clients you're attracting. And I can't wait for you guys to experience the difference it makes for you and your business to work with premium clients. You're going to have more fun and you're going to have more money and time to reinvest in yourself too. So really excited. I think I saw a bunch of really awesome questions that I'm really excited to answer. So let's go.
All right. So the first question is, how do you balance that perspective with remaining inclusive and accessible? So the perspective
Yes, I
of
think that
serving
question was
premium
about
clients.
pricing, right? And about premium prices, right? Okay, I'm gonna have a lot of answers to this question. So you are the boss of your own business, right? And you get to decide how to price your products and price your services. I believe that you should be adequately paid for your services and feel nourished by the work that you do. So I believe that you should have a price for your work where you are well paid and you are not struggling in your business, right? Whatever that looks like for you and whatever you feel like your work is worth, you need to have a business model that fully supports you doing what you want to do. I'm a bleeding heart. I was in the Peace Corps. You know, I started my career in international development. I also really believe in helping people out, especially people who are coming from difficult circumstances. And that's why I do a lot of free trainings. I offer a lot of free stuff. I offer a lot of free resources. But the truth is, for example, business coaching, it's a luxury, right? Not everyone can start a business. Not everyone gets to start a business. Not everyone gets to hire a business coach. So I do a lot of stuff for free. I do a lot of stuff for low cost. I have a lot of self-study courses. But if you want to work with me one-on-one, you have to pay for my time, right? So that's how I handle it. For some of my clients, I talk to them about like, okay, you really love doing pro bono stuff. So maybe you have one day a month, first come, first serve, where you open up your calendar for pro bono stuff, right? So you want to decide as the business owner what feels really good to you, what supports your values, and what does that look like from a business model perspective. You have to look at it from both the time and the money, and then your personal value and enjoyment, right? Because the whole point of being your own boss is getting to decide how you want to run your business. But I believe that your business should financially support you, but also fulfill you.
Right. And something to keep in mind too is that there are programs like ours that exist to be
Yeah,
accessible.
absolutely.
As a government funded
Absolutely.
program, we
Right.
offer business advising for free.
Yeah.
And
So if you
so,
haven't signed up with SBDC, there's an option for sure.
yes, our mission is to be accessible to everyone. And so because of government funding, we're able to do that. We are your tax dollars at work. So all of these great things that we've been talking about today, these are things that business advisors work with clients on all the time, of positioning services, pricing, setting up systems, etc. So I just wanted to mention that. And also, we have a question coming up on market research. And I do want to mention we have a fantastic research network. We have 4 dedicated information specialists who our clients are able to work with their advisors to make research requests to these individuals and get back all sorts of valuable data and information about different organizations, all sorts of things that are very, very helpful to clients in making plans and figuring out next steps. And so I do want to give a shout out to our research network as well, because they are fantastic. And again, we are no cost because of the type of organization that we are. All right, can you share an example of how to find that right price?
Yeah. So I have a whole methodology on this, but I'll try to sum it up as briefly as possible. Okay, so one thing I would advise you to do is a competitor audit of your competitors who are offering the same services as you, as similar years of experience, and see what their prices are, just as a benchmark for you to see what's out there. And then I want you to add up everything that goes into your business. You should know all of your expenses, all of your costs, including your own time, including all of your overhead costs. And you ideally want to make sure, and then you also want to make sure, so competitor analysis, all my costs and expenses, everything that goes into providing the service. Also, separately from that, I want you to set for yourself, what is my revenue goal? Like, how much money do I want to be making? And then ideally, you look at the service you're offering and you come up with a package where you feel like, okay, here's an amount of money I can charge where I feel really good offering this service at this price. If I'm going to deliver this service at this price, I feel really good about it. I feel like I deliver at that level, and that's a really good value for that person. And I also am feeling like I'm being financially nourished at that price level. And ideally, that's a price level that, with the right number of clients, that's going to be a feasible number of clients, is going to get you to your revenue goal and is also going to cover all of your expenses.
So let's go on to our next question. Could you speak a little bit about landing monthly to yearly corporate contracts? We've had a couple of questions on this. Corporate contracts, having
Yeah.
corporate clients on retainer to
Yep.
build up more predictable income.
Yep.
So can you
Totally.
speak to that a little bit?
For sure. Yeah. I have worked with a lot of corporate clients. A lot of my clients work with corporate clients. So I'm very familiar with, I've worked not just on like, one-off sales, but like, what does that process look like at the B2B level? What does it look like for a scope of work? What does it look like for a retainer client? A few basic things to keep in mind. Sorry, was the question how to get corporate clients or how to structure? Sorry, could you repeat the question real quick?
Landing these corporate
Landing
clients.
corporate clients. Yeah.
Yes.
A few tips for landing, and whoever it is in the chat, maybe you could share me a few additional details now about like what kinds of clients you're trying to land, who you've like if you've done it already, if you're starting from zero, like, and you have, or do you have a little bit of experience with this and kind of like where you're at with it. But basically, like, the process for getting corporate clients isn't that different from getting a non-corporate client. There's a lot of different factors involved, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be about relationships, and purchasing is always going to be an emotional decision. It's always going to be about, do I like this person? Do I feel like, you know, they can meet my needs? And so relationship building is really key. When it comes to getting corporate contracts, it's a slightly different process, right? Because you have a big corporation involved. And the bigger the corporation, the more policies they're going to have. But a big thing I find is that people, us entrepreneurs, we forget how much negotiating power we have, even when it comes to working with a really big corporation. So we think, oh, I don't have any power. I just have to do whatever they tell me. And that is not the case. You actually have a lot of power. So if you get a contract and there's things in there that you don't agree with and that you can't meet, you can talk about that with them. You can, if they want to pay you on net 60 days, you can say, actually, like, can we do net 30? You can say, okay, you want to pay me bi-monthly? No, you got to pay me monthly. So there's a lot of room for negotiation when it comes to how you set that up. As for landing it, every company is going to be different. Every example is going to be different, but it is always going to come down to how you build that relationship, how you show the value of your services, almost that like emotional connection and relationship. I was once doing a workshop, and a guy was like, I work in supply chain logistics, and like, this is totally irrelevant to me. No one makes purchasing decisions based on emotion. And I was like, sir, if you are talking to somebody whose shipping containers are stuck in the Strait of Hormuz and he's super stressed out, up all night, has CEOs of billion-dollar companies calling him because they can't get their goods on time to their customers, he is super stressed out, and you are offering him a way out of that stress. And so at the end of the day, it's all an emotional decision. And so what you want to focus on doing, and what I teach with sales, is like, genuinely listen to the person that you are talking to. What do they want? What do they need, both personally and then the company as a whole? And then offer them, think about, can I meet that need? Is that something that I'm going to be really good at? And offer them a genuine solution to their problem. Obviously, if you can't offer them a genuine solution to their problem, then you shouldn't be pitching them. But that is what I do in the pitching process with a big company. Is if you're putting together a proposal, you want to focus on, what is the big problem that this company has? Why am I the solution to fix it? Like, why me in particular? Why not just any, designer or whatever your role is? And then what is going to be the main benefit to that company, and how is it really going to help them? And then you want to do all these little things that I started to mention, like making sure you're doing it verbally, making sure you have the decision makers in the room, making sure you're putting an expiration date on that proposal so that they are forced to make a decision and they're forced to get back to you, because it's really easy for corporations to delay and all these different things happens, and et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful. Was this you, Kevin? Event photography for corporate events with organizations. I work with a few companies and large nonprofits, but looking to land multi-event contracts. Nice. So if you already have clients that you work with that's going well, look to establish an ongoing relationship with them. Say, hey, I did your Christmas gala this year. Would you like to do, do you have talk to them. Do you have other events like this that you would want me to photograph, or is it just the Christmas gala? If it's just the Christmas gala, would you like a package? Do you want me to do your next 3 Christmas galas? We can lock it in at this rate. Give them some incentive for having that long-term relationship and that long-term contract. But work on building those relationships, and like, hey, we just did this event. It went totally great. Like, don't you want to have this problem solved for your next event already? Like, lock it in,
So someone would like to have an example of, some suggestions on branding, or some suggestions on this this model of sales with a branding and SEO company. And so
could this person be a little bit more specific?
Yeah, so let's have this person if you want to drop some details in the chat, we'll come back to your question in a minute.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you were talking about the business model and roadmap, and someone wanted some more concrete examples of actual implementation of this. Could
Yeah.
you speak to that a little bit?
For sure. Okay, so let's say, for example, where you're at right now, like you're like, okay, I have, one client, I have one 2K retainer, one 3K retainer, one 1K retainer. Okay, think about like, what do I actually want my business to look like? What is the business model that is going to support me in my life the way that I want to live? And what is the business model that is going to enable me to do my best work and offer the kind of services I really want to offer? So, like, a fun exercise I like to do is like map it out, right? Like, what would you offer for $1,000? What would you offer for $2,000? What would you offer for $3,000? What would you offer for 4? What would you offer for 5? What would you offer for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. What would that offer look like? Which of those feels most appealing to you as a business owner to deliver? And what kinds of clients would you want? And so think about, what is the type of services I want to deliver at what level? What does that offer look like? And realistically, can I support that, right? Like, so realistically, like if you're a solopreneur, you probably can't take on that many clients, right? We have some event photographers here. We have some graphic designers here. So unless you're hiring staff, which you might be, you're going to have a limit to your time. You're going to have a cap on your time. And so think about, how many clients do I want? How much time am I going to take for each of those clients? And then what is the service offering at that level? So like, let's say you come to decide, I would really love to have 3 clients pay me $10,000 a month each, and that I'm still going to be working like 40 hours a week max, basically ish. Like, you could decide that, and you could be like, here's my 10K package at that level. Here's the client it's for. And then creating the roadmap to get there is about, okay, how am I going to find those clients for that package? How am I going to create the marketing strategy to reach them, the messaging for them for this offer, and the sales process for them at this offer at this price point? So that's basically what I mean. I hope that's helpful. Okay, good. This has been helpful and validating. Onward. Yay. Okay, great. Fabulous.
So you mentioned using market research to learn the premium client language, and I talked about how we have great resources for market research here
Amazing.
at the NYSBDC.
So definitely take advantage of that, you guys.
So when you get that research, are there specific things that you recommend to accomplish kind of isolating that premium client language? What will attract those premium clients?
Yeah, so I actually always recommend doing research yourself because it's so important for you to understand the mind of your clients and the language that they're going to talk about. I find there's no better way to do that than by talking to them directly. And I always recommend, like, not just networking, but like anytime you're talking to someone that you're like, okay, this person is an ideal potential client, ask them, like, what do you look, where are you at now? Where do you want to go? And then what do you think is the path to get there, right? Not what does me as the expert think you need to do to get from A to B, but what do you as the client think that you need to do to get from A to B? What do you think the solution is? And what is the language that you're using to talk about that solution? And what is the goal that you have in mind? What is the outcome that you really want? And doing market research, as I'm sure Jenny knows, is all about like digging deeper and like really not just taking the surface level answer, right? Because it's so easy to in society, it's like, oh, we ask a question, oh, we answer it, oh, that's the end, right? But people are not going to just tell you like their deepest goals and desires if you ask them one thing. Like, you have to really be genuinely interested in getting to know them and understanding them as a person, as a human being. And like, so you're like, okay, like let's take SEO, for example, because that was a question. It's like, okay, like, I want to rank #1 on Google. Like, that's my goal. You're like, okay, great. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's such a good goal to like rank #1 on Google. Like, obviously we all want that. Like, we want that high visibility. We want people to click on us first. Like, who wouldn't want that, right? Like, but really digging deeper and like, why do they want to rank #1 on Google? Like, what is that going to get them? What are the goals behind them? But it's really about digging deep into getting to know someone and showing that genuine interest so that they are going to feel comfortable to show you. And Jenny, I'm sure you'd agree. Also, there's a lot that goes into conducting research, right? You don't want to show bias. You don't want to lead people with how you're asking questions. You want to let them lead you to the answer themselves. But I think we overcomplicate this, right? And we're like, oh, we need experts to like do this market research for us. And believe me, I used to work at a place where I had access to like double-blind MRI databases and it was like amazing, right? But it's like, it's really just at a level of like talking to a regular human being and getting to know them and understanding what do they want? How do they think they are going to get there? Or like, what do they think they need to get there? And then what specific words are they using to talk about that, right? Like, not just like, what do I think they need to get there as the expert, because I know what they actually need to get there. And I know how I would talk about it as the expert, but like, what do they think that they need? And so I can kind of bridge that gap and I can talk to them in their own language and help them understand, okay, you think you need this, but actually you need this.
Right. So just a lightning fast answer. So for this last question.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're out of time.
I know we're out of time. So this person was talking about joining business groups, organizations, especially when you're just starting out. And
Yeah.
so, and like how to balance what percentage of social networking, what recommendations do you have on some of this for somebody
Yeah,
who is just starting out, to have a good balance of being able to work on their business, but also
totally.
make connections?
Such a great question. And I think balance is really important, right? But it is really great if you can get involved in like a couple of communities where you're going to find your ideal clients. So like, even if it's just like online or offline, if it's just a couple, there's two different ways you can do it, right? To maintain that balance. Like, it could be quantity or it could also be like time, right? Like, maybe you're like, okay, I'm a really busy mom. I don't have that much time to like do things. One of my clients that I was just working with, he has like a family of 4 and he's got a lot of health problems. He doesn't have a lot of time. So we're like, okay, Jeff, here's what you're going to do. Like, you're just going to block off, like, you're going to decide how much time you want to devote to this, even if it's just like 1 hour a week. If it's just 1 hour a week, that's totally fine. And you decide when that hour is, you block it off on your calendar. And you're like, okay, here's my time when I'm going to go participate in communities that have my ideal clients. And I'm going to go network and I'm going to go be a thought leader and I'm going to go get to know people and have chats with them to do market research. So it's like, you want to decide what is sustainable for you as a human being and a business owner, whether it's 1 hour a week or whether it's like, okay, I'm going to go to 2 networking events a month, or like, I definitely recommend like being involved in communities and places where your clients are, like online and offline, but you want to do it in a way that's going to feel sustainable to you. So you get to decide whatever that is. I recommend trying to create something that you can like stick to consistently, even if it's just like, okay, I'm going to do it twice a month, like whatever is sustainable for you, that is what the answer is.
So we will wrap up there. Thank you so much, Tasha, for
Awesome.
sharing some really great tips today and answering questions of our attendees. That is always greatly appreciated so that people can get specific answers for what's on their mind right now. And we love being able
Awesome.
to do that when we have experts do these webinars with us. So we'll wrap up for today. And then I will just remind everybody that we, after our webinars, always have an evaluation. If you're able to give us some thoughts, some feedback, take a few minutes. We really, really appreciate hearing from you and hearing what else you would like to learn about as a small business owner and entrepreneur in New York State. So have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you again, Tasha, and all of you who attended. And
Thank you guys so much. You are such a lovely audience. And thank you so much to everybody who was so active in the chat. It really made my day. So I had a great time with you all and you asked really good questions. So thanks so much for joining. Thank you, Jenny, for everything you guys are doing. And y'all should definitely go check out those resources as well. And thanks so much.
all right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.